And we're live.
Do it.
Again. We're back for more. What's going on, man? Yeah?
Yep.
You want to expand on that?
Yep.
Okay. Well.
Doing things.
Are you fucking
doing
kidding?
Life.
Are you fucking kidding? That's good.
God, my improv skills suck.
Hey, man, you keep working at it. You keep taking those courses. Soon you'll be at improv level 17. And then...
It's basically a black belt.
Yeah, I mean, you could kill someone with your improv.
It's just too good.
Yeah,
too
I think
funny.
you have to get your vocal cords registered as lethal weapons.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So, you remember hearing that back in the day? Like there
the
were these,
hands thing?
Yeah, like someone had to get their hands registered as weapons because they were like a black belt in karate.
Yeah, is that real?
I don't think so. How would that...
I just assumed it was real.
Yeah, because you would hear... I feel like I would hear that all the time.
You have to concealed carry. Just walk around with
you
pockets.
Put your hands in your pockets. It's an open carry state. You can just walk around if you know karate. But no, I remember hearing them be like, holy fucking shit.
That's so badass if you could say that.
Like your hands are in a government registry, a government database. They're like, this guy can fucking kill somebody with his hands.
You know, that's a quick Google. I'm going to look that one up.
Dude, there's no way that's real, man. There's no way you have to register a body part.
I'm about to prove you wrong.
It's the alien thing all over again. Here we go. Research rabbit hole. Fine. While you're looking up, can you register your hands? I would say any body part as a weapon.
Ah, it's a myth.
Yeah,
Fuck.
fucking no shit.
Do fists count as deadly weapons?
No.
Even feet and fists can be considered deadly if used in a manner likely to cause serious harm.
Okay.
It's more like illegal.
Hold on. Back up. Considering them deadly weapons is separate from they can be used in a deadly manner.
I'm just trying to spin it to my side.
Yeah, I know what you're doing. The improv's working. You're not going to find a yes to that.
Someone made the same joke as me on Reddit about concealed carry. Fuck.
You're such a poser, dude. This is the episode where we reveal how fake you are.
I've never had an original thought.
Yeah, before every episode, you write up just endless amounts of what you're going to say, just in like stacks of paper, an entire scripted
the opposite
podcast.
of improv.
Yeah, dude, you're a great writer, though. So I got hats off to that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
How do you know that?
Because every podcast has been scripted. For you.
Oh, appreciate it.
Ah, Jesus. Improv
like, what
with
of
me.
my work have you written?
I've been here for live.
True.
Probably, 17 times now. More than that, because I deleted all that shit.
More than that, yeah.
You've been writing just real life stuff?
I got some works.
I love to imagine a world where anything you've said has been written down first.
Yeah, my room just looks like Memento, dude. I got notes all over the place, all my thoughts.
Just tie it into
got
dementia.
Tattoos.
Isn't it crazy that movie is just about a guy who has dementia?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think dementia works like that, totally.
It's a form of it. So there's anterograde dementia, which I think would be you can't form new memories, and there's retrograde. I think it's amnesia technically, but that's dementia. Alzheimer's is a flavor of dementia that typically involves the degradation of both parts. You can't have new and you can't have old, or you start forgetting old as well.
But wasn't his from a head injury in the movie?
Yeah, that can
where he can't form new memories. Is that a real thing? I always wondered that.
Yeah, I mean, because at its core, like a dementia can be caused by brain damage. But like Alzheimer's is your brain. There's a lot of theory that people have. It's still skeptical because we truly don't know why people get dementia, but the brain starts degrading. You can see on imaging it doesn't look the same as someone who doesn't have Alzheimer's. Anyway, the point of all this is you can't register your hands as lethal weapons.
We'll do a follow-up.
Okay.
Jury's out. I don't know if that's true.
All right, that's fair. All right, let's start with the first topic here. The only question that should matter, is it true? What's your opinion on that?
Oh, that's where we're starting?
Where do you think we're starting?
That's so abstract. I thought we were going to start with Diddy opening the presents.
All right, let's back up.
No, I want to do this now.
No, it's fine.
All right.
No, I'm just kidding.
Well, just give me more context for that question. Why you said the most important question is it true?
Yeah. Because I feel like there's a lot of... What other questions should you have about it?
About that?
Something bad, something good, it happens to you... Isn't the only thing at the end of the day is whatever thing you saw or experienced or heard, is it true? And then from there,
I think that's the first question for sure.
Okay, fair.
So I guess in that way, yeah, probably the most important.
Because if it's not, then it's like everything that comes after is almost a moot point. Any going off of a lie leads you to...
But you're talking about the situation where someone makes a claim or an allegation?
Sure. I think that'd be the most common one where people could go... Because in that case, I go, yeah, it really matters if it's true.
Yeah.
It almost entirely matters if it's true. If someone makes a claim of something.
Okay. So I just robbed a store.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What are you going to ask me?
Be like, why? Just the only thing that's not about if it's true. Well, there's levels of... I think that's separate from the question, though. Like, if you're my friend, if you go, I robbed a store, I'd go, dude, what the fuck? Like, first
you would surpass the is it true part.
Yeah, because there's a layer of trust that we have. You can almost...
But I lied just now.
Yeah, then that layer of trust would degrade. Just like memento, the brain, dementia.
Oh, shit.
But you have to imagine, the layer of trust is the truth that we share. That we know that aside from jokes, we are honest with each other, I would hope. Who knows? This could be entirely fake. I've never really grilled you on anything, so it could all just be fake. You haven't grilled me on anything.
Grill me on something.
What's your real name? Yeah, I didn't see that one coming up.
That was a good one. Derek. It's always been Derek.
Fuck, I don't know if I can get over that. I think this is gonna be our last podcast episode. It's a fucking awful name.
I've just been waiting to open up to you.
This is the moment you chose?
Yeah.
After being like, we gotta talk about P Diddy. Hold on.
Okay. Wait, okay. What if someone says, I love you? Are you going to be like, is it true?
That's big depends on who it is. One. If it's family member, I go, whatever. If it's friend.
That's what you say?
Well, it's like, we should love each other. Yeah. There's exceptions to the rule. But for the most part, family, you should love your family if they're not pieces of shit, let's say.
Sure.
If a friend says it, depends on how good of a friend it is. If you say I love you, to me, be like, oh, I love you too, bud. Like, same thing. Yeah, but if it's like I just met someone. I
love you romantically.
Different. A different conversation.
Always had feelings.
This podcast was a ploy to get closer to you.
I was overjoyed when you asked me to start a podcast.
I have Dom. Oh, fuck, I said his name. He doesn't care. His name's not on the podcast. But
he totally doxed himself last episode.
Yes, and he has told me when we were going to release the episode, he's like, I don't give a shit. My name's in it. So it's out there. His name's Dom. Okay. But a running joke when I lived with him would be like, when I do something, and he would be like, "Dear Diary, finally did this." Like he was like fucking secretly in love with me, kind of thing. Be like, "Dear Diary." Such a funny bit to be out in public. He's like, yeah, "Dear Diary, did this today." But
I should keep a diary.
Who does that? That has to be
journaling. Big. That's
yeah,
a big
but diary's different.
Diary's what's a diary?
Okay, and maybe this is my bias, but I associate diaries with like I get home like, oh my god, this happened today. But like journaling feels like a functional way of like trying to
get my thoughts out,
or like trying to figure out something. Diary feels like you're just like puking onto paper, like emotion. I associate diary with like a teenage girl going like, "Oh my god, Billy talked to me today," and like
they're just healthy journaling.
I mean, I'm all for the diary, but I feel like diary is, again, I have never heard a guy say, "I'm gonna go write in my diary today."
No, I would never say that.
I don't have a diary. But not to be sexist. It's just I've never heard.
No one really calls it a diary.
Again, I think teenage girls called it a diary. There was a time when that was like girls writing in diaries. I remember girls in middle school writing their diaries, and every once in a while, a kid or another girl would read from her diary and tell you some hot gossip.
It was a big deal, yeah.
Yeah. And but guys would never have diaries.
But it's really just the same thing as journaling, just at a younger age, a younger, more emotionally volatile age.
Fair. I guess, again, I think I've told you when I've tried to journal and I get super early into it. I'm like, I'm such a fucking like, why would I ever do this?
Yeah.
If I feel like such an idiot to be writing it, which is
it does feel weird. The first time I did it, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I had this like, who am I kind of thing whenever I do it. I'm like, what am I trying to? Like, it feels too serious. I know it's not the right emotion to have around it, but it feels too serious for me. Where I'm like, today I did this, and I'm trying to get into my like whatever.
And then you're just like, who gives a shit?
Yeah, I'm like, what exactly? Like, why am I doing this? And then I think about
who's gonna read this?
And then I think if anyone found him, like, Jesus fucking Christ, what a day they'd have with this. Which again, who would that be? I don't know, but it's just like
it'll be you later. Like I've done it before, and then I read an entry from like a couple months ago. Like, oh fuck, fuck this guy.
This guy sucks.
Seriously,
but you could just do the Matthew McConaughey speech where he's like, in 10 years, I want to be me, but better. That's his wole thing. He's like, who do you aspire to be?
That's inspiring.
Yeah. But it's like, it's hilarious to be like reading about your past. I'm like, ew. It's so gross. Oh, God.
Which I guess that means progress, right? If you look at your past self.
Exactly.
Like,
that's how like the Matthew McConaughey thing works.
Except I think that would just happen no matter what. I feel like I would always look back at my past thoughts and be like, ugh.
Well, great point. But that in that sentence, you say you. There's a lot of people who don't progress like that I think there's a good amount of people that if they wrote down what they did and then 10 years later they went they'd be like, nice.
Yeah that could actually be sad if your life goes south and then you read something from 10 years ago and you're like, damn, things were better back then.
That's even worse.
Yeah,
but it could be hopeful too. Be like, I know that was possible. But I think it would probably lean towards what you're saying of you see how good it used to be and you go, fuck.
Yeah, and 10 years went by and things got worse.
Like, God, fuck.
You lost all the time. As you wither away.
Oh my God, yeah. Just slowly dying a miserable death. Yeah.
I think we should start journaling.
And then share it on the podcast.
Yeah, dude, we should read them.
It'll be the only way to get me to journal. I mean, I feel like we'll get a little bit into it and we'll be like, yeah, I don't want to share this. Because you'll be putting stuff down that's too personal.
Yeah.
Or we'll be like, yeah, we're going to do this forever. We're gonna journal and share this every episode.
Well, that could be. Does anyone else do that? We're looking for an edge for our podcast.
True. I've never seen it
just
specifically.
So damn personal.
Oh, man. I mean, how real do you want to get? I mean, there would definitely be, similar to how we've been talking about, like going on video. You want to dig into deep personal journals instead of go on video?
I'd do that before video.
That's fair. It is the thing that would be the connective tissue to the real world for us. Yeah. We'd have some identity on the internet then. That's right, listeners. You're never going to fucking know who we are. Yeah, we don't have to think about it right now. You just see the stress in your face, like,
pondering.
Oh, Jesus Christ. But hey, how about this? You start journaling. We don't go on video. And then 10 years, you see you journaling, but like, man, I'm really on the edge about going on video. And then you realize that we could have been so much bigger if we would have went on video.
Yeah, I'd probably do video first.
I mean, yeah. At some point, I think we'll do something.
Someday.
But, yeah. I feel like when we were at that party we went to, I feel like I cornered you.
Dom corners me every time.
Oh, that's just Dom by default. Yeah. But yeah, and it just felt easy to jump in on that one. It's pretty fun time. All out of love. But yeah, it was a good time. Okay. We've dug ourselves into we went from is it true to
what happened? I blacked out.
Let's hop over to the P Diddy thing. Because I feel like it's a good palate cleanser for whatever we just got ourselves into. Okay. So, apparently, in the midst of all this P Diddy freak off stuff, and background for the audience, if this episode comes out 2 years later and this is all super irrelevant, P Diddy got caught. I don't even honestly have no idea how like this all came about. Did people just start talking about it? Like people who were involved were like, yeah, no, Diddy's like fucking raping people.
I don't know who broke it. Yeah.
Okay, but someone did, and once they did that, tons of people were like, oh yeah, dude, Diddy would have these parties and have like barrels of baby oil and people and like taking it, essentially doing what Jeffrey Epstein did to high power people, but to like rappers and like more pop celebrity people in that area by just having these giant crazy orgies where he would like, seems like rape people in some of these orgies. And then
someone came out and said Jay-Z raped her while J-Lo watched. Like, fucking crazy,
so
dude.
Crazy. Dude, that would be insane.
Yeah.
Especially if you're like just a person. Not to say celebrities have any like status, but just being like, yeah, no.
A mere person.
Yeah, well, like I just went to a party and I got raped by Jay-Z and Beyonce watched. That's crazy. No one's going to believe you ever.
It's insane.
No one.
It's insane. Jay-Z shut it down immediately.
What'd he say?
Well, not like, he just denied it immediately.
Oh, shit. What is he going to say? Oh, yeah, I did it.
You got me. No.
Man, has there ever been someone in history that's ever been like, oh, yeah, for sure. I totally raped that person. I don't think anyone's ever done that.
Yeah, probably. I mean, the closest, not rape, but Louis C.K. was like, all this is true.
Yeah.
Totally different thing. But
yeah. I would say that's more of like he has a weird sex fetish and miscommunication happened.
Yeah.
And then he just got caught with his pants down kind of situation.
Right.
But like, yeah, that's that. That's the famous example of one that people just like at the height of the cancel culture stuff, we're just grasping for straws on like, oh yeah, this guy's raping this guy.
Right.
Anyway, P Diddy does all this stuff, has these freak offs. There's so many people implicated in it, from the Jay-Z's to the Justin Bieber getting raped, maybe potentially by P Diddy. Like him, like there's videos that started circulating around like him and P Diddy, and P Diddy's like, yeah, you're coming over to my house tonight, stuff like that, and like in the moment it seemed like it was joking, and now you're like, oh no. And Justin Bieber was like 17 at the time. So all this stuff comes out. There's enough evidence to put P Diddy on trial. So it's not rumors, it's legitimate. Recently, Kid Cudi got called to testify because he had some like, I don't even know why he got called, but he had enough evidence or was involved on some level that could like work for the prosecution. Yeah, because I think P Diddy would be the defense in this case. And he was trying to like give examples of how evil P Diddy was, and told a story of how on Christmas, P Diddy had just found out that Kid Cudi was with his ex-girlfriend, forgot her name, and out of revenge, P Diddy went to Kid Cudi's house on Christmas and opened up all the kids' presents and then locked their dog in the bathroom and left.
He's just the anti-Santa.
He's the Grinch.
Most evil thing you can do.
That's the Grinch, brother.
Yeah.
P Diddy is the Grinch.
If all the scandals didn't move you, that story should.
Yeah.
It's pure evil.
Yeah. One could argue that is dark in a way that, like...
It's twisted. It's like the IT guy fucking with the dude's job. It's just... It's not as, like, damaging, but it's, like, almost... It's so intentionally evil. It's evil for the sake of being evil. I guess it's revenge.
Yeah.
But, like, on kids...
Yeah, one could argue, though, that it's the most damaging. Because it's like the action, not like damaging, but the compounding damage on that one, where kids come downstairs, their presents are up, or they don't have presents, or like the surprise is ruined, and now those kids are like, the fuck, like my parents do this, or did someone rob our house? Like, it's all, you just introduce trauma into children's lives.
Yeah.
Out of revenge over like a relationship dispute.
Right. I mean, rape's also pretty bad.
That's way worse, I would say.
I thought that's what you were comparing.
No. I'm just saying, like, it's...
You could argue it's worse.
Like... It's so much worse. I guess that just for face value, going to someone's house and opening up their kids' presents, I'm like, that's fucked up. But
it's crazy.
But I think it does have damage that would be like, fuck, we gotta like... They have to work something that damages the family in a way that most people probably couldn't interpret. Of like,
no one's ready for that one. You don't hear about that one.
Yeah, it also kind of like pokes at your like, you're the man in the house situation, and you just let another man break in and open your kids' presents.
Yeah, now, it's like I could have fucked you up, but I didn't.
Yes, it's that.
It's like a message.
Yeah, and now the kids feel that. Now your wife feels that. The dog definitely does. Got locked in the bathroom, so it feels that.
Wow.
Yeah. It's truly like a psyop on whoever you're doing it to.
Yeah.
Makes me want to do it to somebody.
It's like when the villain's just like already in your house waiting for you.
Yeah, and you think you're safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. So anyway, P Diddy does that. Kid Cudi testifies. It's weird. I just don't like with those things. I know you're trying to sway a jury, but doesn't it make you feel like? I feel like we need to get away from because that sensationalizes something to potentially unrelated to someone like having freak-offs. Granted, it's twisted.
Yeah, well, the goal was to show his character.
Yes. But it's like, it's such a weird thing to do because it's like people can be doing, someone could be doing that evil thing and also not having freak-offs, which I totally think he was having the freak-offs. There's enough stuff to corroborate that.
Yeah.
But like, why do we have to lean on like the character assassination on from anyone on any level? Feels like a weird part of our court system that we've allowed to be like human.
Yeah, is that a common practice? Like, here's this other thing this person did to show you what kind of person they are.
Yeah, I mean, when I was on jury duty, they did it to the fucking guy who's being prosecuted for...
That doesn't feel like a valid criticism. Because you're supposed to be very focused on the crime that they're tried for, right?
Yes, that's where I don't... At least when I was involved as a jury member, they did bring up things like text conversations about things, trying to like make the guy look really bad. Which, granted, the guy fucking essentially sexually assaulted and impregnated a 14-year-old girl, and he's 45. So he rightfully so deserved it. But also, it's like I could see that going the wrong way more times. Or maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe people just never change, and it is.
Yeah, I don't know if it hurts. Like, do you think it hurts the case somehow by distracting?
Well, I think it can wrongfully condemn people if, say, like, there's a part of your life where you weren't sober and you're like a fucking maniac and you got sober and you're fine, and then a crime happens and you don't do it, and someone, like, uses something you did in the past and goes, like...
So if he was innocent and then they brought this up...
Yeah, and they're like, look at what this piece of shit fucking did. It's like, and it's like, no, this guy's... He's not that anymore. I can see how it could go the wrong way more times than not. Or people can use things to like paint an image of you that's maybe not true. But...
Yeah, if it was like a different sexual assault, that would make more sense. Because it's the same type of crime.
Yeah. That I would be more on board with. If Kid Cudi was like, yeah, he raped me, then I'd be like, then totally. But being like, yeah, he came in my house, opened my kid's presents, like that's crazy. But it's not rape.
How has that not come out yet? How did that not come out a while ago? The presence thing.
I don't know. Maybe because of the threat that P Diddy... It seems like
Is he that powerful?
Seems like he's a menace and a lot of people are scared of him. So I don't know, man. And maybe this is the only opportunity where Kid Cudi's like, I could see him being put away and I could be safe.
I can finally confess this.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's something.
It's just such a silly crime.
I know. It is the Grinch. It's literally the Grinch.
It just makes me smile for some reason.
Well, you're the Grinch, man.
Yeah.
You hate children, hate Christmas and happiness and love. But
all right. World War III?
All right, let's do it. I don't even need the fucking notes for that one.
Yeah.
So
give it to me.
It's crazy to think that we could potentially be sitting here recording this and our next episode could be in World War III.
You think that? You really think that?
Yeah.
How likely?
Well, likely. I should say, though, with the caveat that I don't think we'll experience a full-scale war, like a World War II situation.
Yeah.
But it'll be higher than, like, a war with Iraq. Let me get into the reasons behind those.
Sure.
But okay. So in the past 2-3 years there's been all this Israel-Palestine stuff escalating. October 7th, Palestine, Hamas attacks an Israeli music festival. Essentially terrorist group attacks people, kills 200 people. Brutal shit. Israel
it was more than that, wasn't it? I thought it was like thousands.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Well, then, yeah, fuck.
I mean, it was awful either way.
True, yeah. So, kills a bunch of people. Backstory of Israel-Palestine, seems like the guy running the show, Benjamin Netanyahu, who has been on record talking about these things, about allowing money from, I think it's called Qatar. Qatar,
yeah. Qatar, yeah.
Yeah, and they have funded Hamas, and Benjamin Netanyahu has encouraged them to fund them because he's on record saying that if Hamas gets bigger and they attack us, there will never be a way to a two-state solution. So
wait, what? So
yeah, that's on record. Him saying that
he wants. Why is he supporting funding to Hamas?
Because by them getting funding, Hamas will attack Israel.
And then Israel can just stomp them?
Israel can literally go, we'll never have a two-state solution. We need to keep oppressing the Palestinians.
Okay.
Hamas is their ticket out, which historically countries have done that with terrorist groups.
It's like hit me, bro. Like
yes.
That's basically.
And they have more than not funded them themselves through one way or another, maybe some more indirect, some more direct. You could find examples with the United States all over the place.
Okay.
So there's a lot of implication on Benjamin Netanyahu and the regime that runs Israel on wanting to dominate the Middle East. I mean, you go back to 2000, late 90s, Benjamin Netanyahu is on record in front of Congress saying, oh yeah, we want a regime change in Iran, in Iraq, in Libya.
Yeah.
He is saying...
He definitely does.
Yes, he has said those things, but he says, but, it would bring peace to the Middle East if you do these things. So essentially, we believe him at the time, which is the dumbest thing ever. And we get roped into fighting.
We believe that he wants a regime change?
No, he says that by doing this, you'll bring peace to the Middle East, which who even knows how to interpret that? But we bought that, and we decided to, we at least took that and decided to make all of Israel's enemies our enemies, which at that moment, when this was all going on, the move was to pull out of all those regions and to let it just be. But instead, we continued to back Israel and then go to Iraq and Libya and all these places. Anyway, so long story short, it kind of points at all this stuff going on right now with Iran. Benjamin Netanyahu is kind of like just doing this to dominate the Middle East when there's no real good reason. With the recent one being that they always say...
It's the nuclear weapons, right?
They go, okay, there's a couple things with this. Iran has been in this nuclear inspection program with, I think it's either the United Nations or some world organization, that we go in and we check and we go, okay, do they have nuclear weapons? What are they doing with nuclear stuff? And we go, okay, you're fine. So Israel does not do this. And Israel, till this day, goes, we don't have nuclear weapons. But every country knows they have nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
So Iran has been under stringent checks for a long time. But... sorry, a lot of history going on here. In this mix of us all dominating the Middle East, you remember Gaddafi? You've heard this name before?
Yes.
In Libya. And people call it the Libya disaster when Hillary Clinton tried to essentially, we got Libya to give up their nuclear weapons. And what happened is, after that, we kind of flew in there and staged a coup and got the leader killed. So since that example... where Gaddafi got sodomized to death in the middle of the streets, which is the famous example of someone being brutally murdered, typically because they gave up all of their mutually assured destruction via nuclear weapons. And this will be commonly referred to as the Libya disaster. So every country knows not to give up nuclear weapons, because the second you do that,
you'll get fucked.
You lose all power in the world. Someone will dominate you. The United States, Russia, someone will. And so, Israel knows that, or at least Benjamin Netanyahu does. Iran's been under this kind of overwatch, and they've agreed to it. It's a thing that Obama passed called the Iran deal from a long time, where we're like, hey, listen, you can go up to a certain level of purified uranium, which I think they're at 60% now. It takes 90% to start making actual nuclear weapons, but they stay at that 60% because it's enough to go, if they wanted to make nuclear weapons, they could fast enough to deter. But they haven't, over these years, they haven't moved from that because they know it's enough to deter outside forces. And so, But Benjamin Netanyahu, since 2000 ago, there's nuclear weapons over there. Even though we've had a committee go in year after year after year after year and go, there's nothing here.
They don't let us inspect certain parts and they're hiding stuff?
Sure.
Isn't that what the claim is?
But again, that it falls so in line within 2000 when they're like, there's weapons of mass destruction in Iraq.
Right.
It's the same.
We know they're there.
And there was none ever there. There wasn't even any being made. So we're back to the same rhetoric that was used into the war in Afghanistan and Iraq, where like they have WMDs, we have to go over there. If we don't, they're going to blow everyone up.
No.
And Benjamin Netanyahu's doing that to get us to be involved in this war. Now, the big update that makes me go, we're going to World War III, is that Israel decided to attack the nuclear sites that had this 60% purified uranium recently. This is what, last week?
It was like a few days ago.
Something like that. Very recently, blew up a bunch of their nuclear sites, and Iran responded with missiles directly into Tel Aviv.
I saw some videos.
Crazy.
Pretty nuts.
Yeah.
They also assassinated a ton of their nuclear scientists.
Yeah. And so, also important that in the middle of this, Donald Trump and I forgot the other leader were in negotiations with Iran to end all this stuff. And the truth we don't know about...
Like, we're going to pause the talks for a little bit.
Yeah, because the attacks happened in the middle of it. Yeah. And now the whole thing is, there's two sides of it. Either Donald Trump, and forget the other leader who met with the Iranian leader, either they knew that Israel was going to attack as a distraction, that the negotiations were a distraction for Iran, so that Israel could attack during the time, which I don't think that one holds up as well. It doesn't quite make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Or Benjamin Netanyahu, which also I should say, that's Benjamin Netanyahu's rhetoric on this, is that, oh yeah, the U.S. knew about all this and we're in bed together and this was all planned. That's what they're telling the world. Donald Trump is going, Donald Trump hasn't said really anything on the issue, leaving it up to mystery, but he is continuing to post on Twitter saying that...
He's trying to stay out of it, isn't he?
Well, I thought that, and then he's been posting on Twitter literally saying Iran cannot have nuclear sites, which seems way more aligned with Israel, which indicates that means we're probably... Other than that, there's been all kinds of different signs that happen as we're about to go to war. One of the funnier ones is that the Pentagon, the Domino's there, the pizza place, gets the craziest activity than it ever does every time we're about to go to a war, because there's so many people working the Pentagon and they order so much pizza. So that's one metric. That's a sillier metric.
Oh, fuck.
But there's U.S. carrier ships that are organizing around certain areas in the world that are...
We're sending troops over there as we speak.
Yes. So things are getting mobilized.
Yeah.
So
I heard Trump also said he wouldn't let Benjamin Netanyahu kill Iran's leader. Something like that.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. One thing to know that, like, aside from the whole World War III thing, Israel does have nuclear weapons. So if they go crazy and decide that, like, we're not backing them or they want to act on their own, they could just nuke Iran. And Iran can't, thankfully, I mean, terribly unthankfully, but Iran couldn't respond with nuclear weapons. But, dude, this is probably the worst it's been since, like, I don't know, the beginning of the Middle Eastern wars. And again, here's a more dangerous part to this. With all the other Middle Eastern stuff, Afghanistan, Iraq, Kuwait, Libya, we had escalation dominance. I've heard these military officials talk about this, where if country does X thing, we do this. We have something to combat in each move that they take. Like, think of chess, like you have planned out.
Sure.
We have no escalation dominance with Iran, being that we have so many bases, embassies, bases, military all over that region, that if Iran tries to start shooting that, we have no way to, like, protect any of those places.
How is that possible? How do we not plan for that?
I don't think we thought it was in the cards. Like, we don't have
Iran attacking?
Well, yeah, we don't have military dominance in that region. We have military bases and we have embassies, but if they decide to blow, like, literally just start like they did with Tel Aviv, we don't have, like, a sound defense. It would just all get obliterated. Yeah. So we are, unlike the other wars, we're in a much weakened state in terms of if we're like, oh, we're going to go try to take over Iran.
But dude, if Iran touches anything American, we're going to fucking blow them up. Like, whoa. I don't think they're going to mess with American stuff.
I don't know, man.
That would be so bad for them.
Well, I think it'd be bad for... They're not a small... They don't have nuclear weapons, but they're not like a fucking Iraq. They're a sizable country with this big military.
I think we'd wipe them out in like a week.
Oh, dude. I mean, we were in Afghanistan for 20 years.
Right, but like...
And that's like baby stuff compared to what Iran is as a country.
Yeah.
And I get it that like Afghanistan, we were trying to spread democracy, let's call it, not so much as fighting an active war.
I mean, how does Iran compare to Russia?
It's a good question. I don't know.
I mean, Russia's scared to act because of us, basically.
Well,
Like to go further than they are. I mean,
but so are we in terms of Russia, though. I think when nuclear weapons are introduced, the scale of country doesn't matter as much. Iran doesn't have those, but it's not. Iran's army is not like something to be like, no, we're just gonna go in there, wipe them out. I think it's gonna be way more crazy.
Yeah, but we have nukes.
Well, that's the next level. If we decide to use those, that's a whole other thing.
But the fact that we have them and they don't,
yeah,
like that's such a heavy deterrent.
Well, they attacked Israel, and Israel has nuclear weapons.
In theory, they don't, right?
I promise you they do.
What? How do we know that they have them?
I don't know enough about the metrics, but there's enough data on these things that countries can tell if someone's been doing it with the amount of uranium they're mining and the systems that they have in place and all these things. And it would be crazy for them not to have it. Again, it's a probability game, but if they didn't have nuclear weapons, it'd be way more surprising.
Sure.
And most developed countries in the region do, with the rare exception of the ones that we've been like, hey, you should probably like get rid of them. And then they do, and then like get invaded, like Ukraine. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see. But this is a conflict unlike any we've seen in our lifetime. This could be the first true war that you and I see.
I mean, what do you call the Ukraine war? That's a real war.
We're not. It's a
you
proxy.
mean with us?
Yeah, like our country is in active war with another country. That's never happened for us.
Nah, I think it'll blow over.
I mean, I hope so. I hope that I'm so fucking wrong about all this. But
right, yeah, me too. It is crazy. Like seeing the footage of missiles coming in and just hitting huge
major cities. Yeah,
it's pretty terrifying. Do you see the clip of like Iran's news outlet or whatever? It's like like their CNN. Some anchor was talking.
Okay.
And just they fucking got bombed, and the anchor just got up and left as debris is like falling behind.
Holy shit! Yeah, that's fucking terrifying. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'd hope. God, it would be so shitty if we actually had to like witness a war, or if we had to participate. I don't think that would happen, but who fucking knows, man? Could you imagine just like tomorrow, like we're
ready to join up?
Yeah, go fight for my country.
What would you do
if you hadn't fought for freedom? Yeah, that'd be fucking crazy. But I don't know, just like plead some illness and then never go to the military. Be like, I threw out my back. Can't go. True. Got chronic backitis. Well, next week when we record,
we'll update.
We'll let you know, see what happens. But it would be so crazy though if like, because there's been such a long history of these wars failing. Like anywhere we've tried in the Middle East, it'd be so hilarious if we just invaded and took over Iran and it all worked out. Like it's one war.
America too.
I mean, terrible. But it'd be so funny if this one is just the perfect war.
As we're speaking, I just got an update.
We declare war.
No, it's an article. This 30,000-pound It's 30,000-pound bomb could cripple Iran's nuclear capabilities that the U.S. has. Apparently, we're the only ones who can drop it.
Huh. It's just a weird thing. Dude, I don't know. It's just weird. It's like, why the impact of doing those things? Again, this is all because Israel. The long story of this is just that all the Middle Eastern countries hate the way that Israel treats Palestinians because they consider Palestinians their Arabic people for the most part. Mm-hmm. So they go, hey, that's fucked up. That's why there's so much tension.
What's the history? Like, what has Israel done to Palestinians? Like before October 7th and all that.
Oh, they've just, I mean, you've probably heard it said it's an open air prison. They essentially, where Palestinians are, they don't get to vote. Israel controls everything that goes in and out of their area. It is literally, they have people contained in an area, similar to how think of like a Native American reservation here. Yeah. Think way worse to where we
can't leave.
Yes, they can't leave. We control anything that goes in there. They can't vote. at all. It's literally, and the government that rules them, they can't change any of it. And so literally they're just like oppressing people because they don't want a two-state solution. And so all the Middle East, who are those people, because the whole story is that, Jewish people got pushed there and took over a land that was like 90% Arabic people. And we're like, yeah, no, we're going to take this because a European commission said, yeah, you guys should go over here instead. So literally just people displacing people and be like, no, this is ours now. And so all the Middle East goes, Israel's fucking sucks because they're doing it to the Palestinians. And Israel goes, well, we want to keep oppressing these people. So how about we just dominate all the region with the U.S. backing us? That's literally what's going on. That's the whole story. It's fucked. I don't mean to make it sound simple. Go read about the history of the entire region. That is what's going on.
I think a lot of people disagree with that.
It's crazy if you start from what happened how the Jews, and don't get me wrong, Jews for a lot of history have been ostracized and brutalized, and the point where they got pushed to Israel is a point where like they feel like they haven't had a place.
Didn't they start in Israel?
No.
It's like where everything in the Bible is.
Yeah, no. Jewish people, nothing associated with Israel.
How all the biblical, like Jerusalem, all those cities, that's like in the Bible. That's like the start of the Jewish people.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean geographically that they're there. Because being Jewish is a religion at its core, and people have...
Well, it's a religion and an ethnicity. It's both.
But because they moved there. Before Israel was a thing, it was just people from the Middle East, like Arabs living there. They were never there natively. That never existed.
So where do they come from?
All over. I mean, there's Jews all across the world. I don't know where their birthplace was, but it wasn't Israel. Israel was a constructed thing.
I don't know.
No, I swear. Go read it. I mean, and this is recent history. This isn't like, we're not talking thousands. This is like 50 or 60 when all the Jewish people got pushed to where all their people lived in Israel. They're like, okay, because again, I think this is post World War II, and then you ever heard of the pogroms? It's like POGRIMS, but they're like people were just rounding up Jewish people and murdering them in the streets all over. They would happen at random times, like mass slaughtering of Jewish people, because throughout all history, and there's so much behind this, but Jews historically were like a merchant class. Like because of Christianity in some cases, they would say they can't operate in some businesses, so they can operate in things like bank loans and things that became extremely profitable. And so Jewish people became wealthy, and at the only time, ruling classes were wealthy. Ruling classes saw that as a threat. They point the poorest people to go, look at all these Jewish people taking all your shit. And that has repeated in history over and over and over. And Jews have been, again, brutalized and ostracized throughout most of history for that reason. Fast forward to 1950, it's still going on in parts of Europe with these things called pogroms, where someone convinces them that all their problems are due to the Jews. People round up a bunch of Jews, slaughter them in the streets. Happens at that point, there is a bunch of Jewish people across Europe. They go, we need a place where we belong. They decide that it is Israel, and they have, I think it's the UN or some commission, draw plans that they have the right to go live there. And that by that ruling, the Palestinians who exist there get, I think it's at the time, like a 40-60 split. And all the Palestinians are like, what the fuck are you talking about? Okay. We've been here forever.
Right. But like, I'll look into it, but like Israel is literally, I guess according to the Bible, like that is Judaism. That is like where it started. Israel is a Jewish nation. Okay. But like, I guess they spread across the world and then got forced back there. Because you're talking like the 50s. I'm talking like way, way back.
Yeah.
Why did they force them back there?
Well, they suggested that land. They're like, this is the place we want to go back to, even though it was populated.
Because that's their origin? Is that why?
I don't know. I don't think so. That's something we got to follow up on. But from my understanding, that's not where they came from. Maybe it is.
Didn't you read the Old Testament?
I mean,
weren't you reading that for a little bit?
There is talk about Israel and all that stuff.
Like Israel's the main dude. It's like it's Abraham, Isaac, some other guy, and then Israel. Yeah. And then he, like, all of Judaism comes from him.
Yeah. But I don't know if that has relevance to, like, who's there.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the thing. The point being that in the recent history, it was people... It'd be like as if we were here right now and the Native American population goes... Right. Well, that'd be even worse, though, because we are the people who came here and killed everyone. But, like, they have a right to now, thousands or hundreds of years later, be like, no, this is ours. We're going to fucking kill everyone and take all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, regardless of what happened thousands of years ago.
There's still... Yeah, there's people there who had nothing to do with anything and then just got forced out.
Right.
So that's... Yeah, I see that.
And so, one way or another, that stuff happened and kind of, like, displaced a lot of people wrongfully so. And now it's been this never-ending battle. Well, and the worst case being that the people who move there dominate the people who lived there from before. It'd be different if they moved there and then they just are like, oh, this is... Now they live amongst us, and it's fine. But it's like, no. They've created a controlled situation for the people who used to live there and have continued that for the past 80 years. Which is like, what? It'd be like, imagine if we were doing that here with Native Americans. If literally we were like, oh yeah, they can't go off the reservations, we control everything, they can't vote, they definitely can't vote, and we're gonna prop up terrorist groups to make them start wars with us so we can actually finally just eliminate them because we don't want them here. That's what's happening.
Yeah, that'd be bad news.
Pretty bad. Yeah. Or if we did it like like Civil War level, and we did that with black people, where we were just kind of like, oh yeah, we keep them around, but they can't vote. I mean, we kind of did that for quite a while. And then we were like, oh, it's really bad. We can't do that. We're letting that happen. Well, I shouldn't say we. That's going on over there. I don't think we should be... The more the United States is involved, the more it gets worse. So, it is what it is. On to something better.
Sure.
How much time do we got left? Oh, damn, 47. All right. Let's find something lighter. That was a deep dive into some hellish stuff, but... Oh, how about LiDAR? Have you heard about this?
LiDAR, the technology?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Didn't really know anything about this until recently because, there's always these news stories about, like, people finding ancient civilizations well beneath the earth because we had no way of seeing deeper, and mostly around, like, South America, full of jungles. And so, like, when you're walking through these jungles, you have no idea that there's, like, you're walking on top of a civilization because typically it's covered in trees, stuff. And so they've been using these LiDARs and seeing like miles under the earth and see like entire cities buried in South America that a lot of people still haven't even tried to go to.
With LiDAR?
Yeah. Apparently they can use it from satellites and see.
What?
Yeah.
I thought LiDAR was like shooting a laser, having it bounce back, and then knowing how long that took and measuring distance basically. And then, like, doing that in a circle to, like, map something out. Oh. But maybe it's advanced more.
I think so. Because I've seen the imaging that I've seen from the LiDAR stuff is, like, it looks like a...
it sounds like X-ray almost.
It's like a heat map that can go... Like, you can see things underground.
Damn.
It's crazy.
I guess that does make sense, yeah. If it can go through dense things.
Yeah, like certain matter. But it's like there's... We're now finding so many of these cities, and it's changing our idea of how long ago humans have been civilized, like, people. Okay. Because for a long time, it's like, oh, yeah, I don't know. There was 5,000 BC and some, like, ancient civilizations like the Indus Valley in, like, India and Pakistan region. But beyond that, everything that's surface level has degraded by now. But the stuff in the ground is, like, fossilized and kept. So there's, like, these massive cities that are tens and tens of thousands of years old, that in our head we used to go, yeah, nothing was civilized after like 5,000 BC or before 5,000 BC.
That's pretty cool.
It's awesome. Also cool to the fact of like humanity could have just gone through this revolution time and time again and just keeps like petering out and then comes back and then peters out.
Oh, you think we digress?
Yeah, like nuclear war, everyone dies, and then evolution comes again. Humans are put back, and it's just this.
You think we've been through a few Israel-Palestine wars already?
It's
Wiped the world out a couple times?
Yeah, it's possible. It's definitely not impossible. Because the world, the earth just turns shit over. Like this is stuff that's like 10,000 years old.
Yeah.
A million years ago, we have no idea what was here.
Right.
We just guessed. We're like, yeah, the dinosaurs were a thing at some point, and
yeah, dinosaurs are fake, dude.
that's a whole other topic. They're definitely not fucking real. They're just giant birds. I do like how like up until last year they're like, yeah, there's these giant reptilian things, and now they're like, oh, they have feathers. Have you seen any of this?
Yeah, the T-Rex got feathers.
Yeah, they're just big birds.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes sense.
Just a bunch of big birds.
But also, how do they know that?
They fucking don't.
Yeah, right? They're just like, now they have feathers.
The answer is they don't.
Yeah. I feel like the scientists just had nothing that was like getting views. And they're like, they got feathers now. They're like, oh, fuck, yeah. Fucking birds.
Yeah.
But yeah, so LiDAR's tight. Oh, dude, I forgot who I was listening to, but they're saying, 'cause you've heard nonstop, right? How like the war on drugs has been a massive failure in general.
Yes.
And then someone made a great point that was, how could anyone ever think the war on drugs could be a success when people in our prison system can get drugs? You can't control it in a federal prison. People overdose in prison. To think that we could do a war on drugs in another country or within here.
It's a thought I've never had before.
Me too, man. I mean, you got to imagine.
Because what was the goal? Like to just eliminate illegal drugs?
To eliminate drug production in other countries to the point where it would never come here. No one would ever do drugs again. It wouldn't get to our kids. It wouldn't cause overdoses. But through the means,
the market's still there, even if you take those people off the street.
Yes, and to the even crazier point of, in the most strict federal controlled sense, a maximum security prison, there's people overdosing on heroin.
That's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
Like the hardest of drugs, still making it in.
Yeah, and think about like,
it's got to be harder though, right? Like,
oh, I mean, yeah, but the point is that even under the most controlled situation, drugs are still like the need is still being met. So to think that we could control, think of all the factors when you try to control in another country from another nation. It's nuts.
Yeah, drugs are here to stay.
They're never going to. They're so cool. They're so fun.
They solve all your problems immediately.
Yeah. They're a temporary band-aid on everything, depending on what you do. But like, such a dumb idea. I just thought it was such a good. I've never heard that said. That I've like, yeah, dude, there's drugs in our prison system. That's, you would argue, nothing's better, more controlled than like moving humans to cells and about bananas. Anyway, here's a thought, and maybe this is a good one to end on. What are we at? Okay. If you wanted to do something healthier, typically around like, actually it could be around anything. Couldn't you just use caffeine to addict you to that behavior? Like, food's an easy one because you could literally buy caffeine powder.
Just inject spinach with caffeine.
Dude, you could literally buy pounds of caffeine powder and sprinkle on anything, and you can't taste it. You just put on like every healthy food you're trying to consume, sprinkle caffeine on all of it. You would addict yourself to it.
Do you think the fact that you know you're adding the caffeine, you think that would mess with it?
No. Because you drink coffee all the time. Like, caffeine it's physically addictive.
But then you have to become addicted to adding the caffeine. You have to, like, build that habit of doing it.
Well, no, you could addict yourself to, say, let's take spinach, for example, like you brought up. Say you start sprinkling caffeine on to where you're eating it consistently all the time, and then you slowly get off the caffeine.
Oh, I see.
And then now you've built because it's all around the habit, I think, of doing it, but you physically want it now because of the caffeine, and then you taper off.
That's a great idea.
Dude, I'm telling you. And this goes...
You're addicted, so you should start trying it.
Dude, I'm going to put in everything healthy. But you could do it with other stuff too. I mean, like, beyond food, if you just ingest caffeine when you're doing something that you're trying to do more of. The workout one's a easy example, but say like you go study, you drink coffee. You're just kind of like, you're enhancing the reward system in your brain to go, I love this.
I mean, I get excited to drink coffee in the morning. It gets me out of bed.
Yeah, same, dude. It's pretty great. And you could even go higher. You start doing cocaine with activities and then really get it going in a bunch of ways. But that's a bit more expensive kind of a habit builder.
I like that. What are you going to use it for in your life?
I don't know. I gotta buy the powder of caffeine first. I don't know what I'm gonna try it with. Because I feel like I
feel like we've talked about you getting off of caffeine so much.
No.
Now we're talking about buying pounds of caffeine.
Yeah. I'll never forget. Dude, there's a handful of people who've killed themselves using that powder, so I'm kind of scared of it. Because it's so easy to, like, think of like a cup of coffee that's maybe 100 milligrams, and that's like, we're talking, I don't know, a dime worth of powder. If you took like a tablespoon scoop of that fucking caffeine powder and put it in anything, which is not a big scoop, and it's water soluble, you're eating grams of caffeine, will just stop your heart.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, and people have definitely died doing this. Exactly what we're talking about. People have died doing this. So, we'll see.
So, try it out.
I might just use like coffee and try to do it around things, but we'll find out. But anyway, anything else before we?
What's bothering you lately?
What's bothering me lately? Well, if I'm being totally honest.
Oh.
Which is, I don't even know why I said that.
Open up.
Dear diary. Well, throughout my back. And I know it's silly, well, not silly, but it happens. When something like that happens around something that you like to do, when I throw out my back deadlifting, there's a fear now with the thing. And
You'll never be the same.
Well, that'll happen when I go do it again. Because it's painful. That experience was very, very painful. And I know how that works and how it just creates, the only way to undo that is to get back in the gym and do it enough to where you're confident again. But I fucking hate how all it takes that one moment, and now I'm hesitant to go do it again.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's
one of the hardest parts of coming back from an injury. Like even long after you've healed is just trusting it.
Yeah, dude. Because like that example of throwing at my back, I felt fine. It's like there was no part of me that was like, oh, I'm going to experience something that's going to really hurt. It's the surprise of it that's so, I don't want to say traumatic because that feels extreme, but it just comes out of...
Hey, it's valid.
Yeah, thanks, man, for validating my emotions.
Yeah.
But it's just like, because it's so sudden and you don't see it coming, it makes you so unsure about everything in that direction. You're like, fuck, dude, what if something else breaks? What if a ligament snaps? All that fucking crap. But you just got to push out. So that's been bothering me.
That's terrifying.
How about you? What's been bothering you?
I'm pretty at peace, I think.
Great.
My life's awesome, dude.
Yeah, you gotta have something.
I know, there's gotta be something.
Even if it's something small. Just what the fuck?
Well, I'm going to my bag of peeves.
You got a bag of them?
I have a huge bag of them.
Massive bag. Well, you are the Grinch. You should have a massive bag of presents.
You just call me Diddy?
A.K.A. Grinch, A.K.A. Diddy. Do you just have like a peeve list that you put down?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta start.
I haven't added to it for a while.
Yeah. I feel like I was putting them at the top of the Google Doc, but it's definitely fell off. It's fell off. Oh, yeah. Oh. You can do it. Believe in yourself to find a peeve.
Oh my God. This is a good one.
What we got?
You ever go to a nice restaurant? Not even that, like nice-ish.
Yeah.
And get pasta, like tortellini.
Okay.
And they
more specific.
They give you fucking 4 pieces of pasta.
Oh.
This has happened to me, actually my girlfriend, not even me, but it's happened like 3 times now that I've seen. And I'm like,
is there another thing in the dish? And it's over.
It's like 4 big pieces, but it's just not enough.
What else?
And it's like super fancy, like sauce drizzled, good presentation.
And it
looks pretty, tastes great.
Okay.
But it's just not a full meal.
No. So there's not like a meat in there? It's just the pasta.
Just the pasta. Maybe it's stuffed with meat or something.
Got it, but like it's not like there's limited.
No, there's nothing else. It's just the pasta.
No, that's fucking.
This is happening at restaurants all over the country.
It's a fucking pandemic.
Dude, it's fucked up. It makes me mad.
Do you say anything?
No, I haven't yet. But like my girlfriend and I talk about it's happened to her like 3 times, and I'm like, God damn it, stop ordering tortellini. You just can't trust it at a nice restaurant. Or ravioli or something. One of the like pouch pastas.
Yeah. The contained pastas. I got to be honest. I've only had the opposite experience with every pasta dish.
If you go to an Italian place, that's the exception.
Yeah.
They load you up.
Yeah, I feel like every time I get a pasta dish, it's so much pasta.
But like any like nice, cool, new American restaurant, don't trust their pasta.
Yeah, duly noted. I mean, I could see it if it's like one of those Michelin star 13 course kind of like each dish is a small thing.
Yeah, a bunch of small, that'd be fine.
Yeah, but if it's like this is the main dish, we give you 100 calories worth of pasta.
Right.
Yeah, that's absurd. And then they charge you $30 for that something.
Yeah, it's pricey too.
Yeah, that's we need to get away from that. I know our nation's so fucking fat.
keep the portions big.
But like, dude, here's the thing. Let people decide. I know that there's I don't know.
Ooh, I want to hear this.
Yeah, I think we should keep this going because this topic, I think I've gone back and forth on, and
I have opinions on this too.
Hell yeah, because I feel like on this podcast, at one point I was like, "Yo, we gotta stop giving people insulin because like we're just encouraging fatter." But then I think there's a level of like public health, and like, don't get me wrong, against a lot of government stuff. Certain things like the food that people create and addict us. It comes down to a level of people beyond choosing, where people are so addicted to
it's
the
so
foods,
addictive.
Yeah, that like people can't get off of it.
I've toyed with the idea of thinking just soda should be illegal, dude. It's fucking so bad for you and so addictive.
Yeah, I would probably at least for maybe like similar to alcohol and tobacco. Just have an age limit. Granted, kids are going to still get it, but like you can't be an adult feeding your kid soda all the time.
The underground kid market for soda would be nuts.
Crazy.
In 5th grade, got some grape drink.
It'd be like making moonshine, but just like Fanta.
That'd be nuts. That'd make it more exciting.
Oh, for sure. And don't get me wrong, prohibition of things typically doesn't work, but at least like I would make the argument that making tobacco laws more restrictive. I feel like in the next 10 years we're going to see something along those lines with super ultra processed foods, whether it be soda or like Twinkies, where there's going to be the same level of like, oh, that shit kills, as opposed to right now it's like, yeah, go fucking, like very few people I know are like, I'm going to go get a pack of cigs. Like most people are like, no, that's fucking, it's so disgusting and terrible.
Yeah. But dude, in Europe, then all their packs of cigs have like pictures of cancer.
Yeah, and like dead fetuses and shit.
Still.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. But I would make the argument here, though, it's still the majority of people don't. The majority used to smoke. The majority now do not smoke. Through public,
so that's education.
I think it's education, because right now I think most people still think there's a lot of people who are like, this has no effect on your health, or this is just food, and people just feed their kids that stuff.
Right.
And I think most people are trying to do best for their kids, mostly just feed them. And there's so many factors in that and what a kid likes and, that whole thing. But it's cheap, it's easy, and it satisfies kids. But it also, like, there's so many things that come with eating Twinkies and soda as you grow up, dude. It fucks you up. I'm so blessed to have lived in a family that fed us decent food.
Right.
That was a focus.
I was pissed at the time. I was like,
I was like,
why does Johnny's Pantry have awesome stuff in it?
Dude, I would go to kids' houses, like sleep over, and I would two of my
Cosmic brownies, dude. Remember those?
It's insane.
That was my black market drug. I had to find someone with them because I never had access to them.
Dude, me too. My parents were the organic people. We'd get like not anti-ans, but it was just all stuff that was like
the cream pies.
No. We would have none of that in our home. We would have absolutely none of that.
Sure. Yeah.
But it was just like, like there was like Kraft macaroni and cheese, but then there'd be like the organic one. It had like a bunny on it. But it was always like, tasted like shit compared to the super sweet stuff. And a couple of my best friends growing up, one, I would always go to his house. I'd wake up at 6 a.m. at his house, run up to his kitchen, and open their cabinet that was filled with Hostess, the Ho-Hos.
Oh,
I would just eat like 6 packages of Ho-Hos, throw them in the trash, and go back down, go to, like pretend like I never did it. Yeah. And I would do that at most friends' houses.
Wait, hold on. You snuck Ho-Hos?
Yeah, like no one knew at their house.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Dude, because literally,
that's another level. You're like starving for Ho-Hos.
Dude, I got a taste of it. I was like, holy shit. This is a thing?
It's literally a drug. That reaction is a drug.
Yeah, dude. When Halloween would happen, we'd have like a short time where there'd be candy in the house, and I would get home from school first, run to the cabinet, sit in front of it, and eat like 80 Reese's fucking cups. Just dominate the candy.
Down candy.
Yeah, and then like I'd put the wrappers back in there to make it seem like there was still candy in the thing. My mom would be like, Evan, what the fuck? I would eat like 10,000 calories worth of Reese's cups. But overall, didn't eat a lot of shit. But the point being how addictive that shit is. You get a taste of it and you're like, this is the best thing in the entire world.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't know, man. We gotta do something.
So yeah, do we take that away from people?
I don't know. I think just it always changes when there's kids involved.
You know what Mexico does, which is actually cool. I found out when I was there.
Okay.
So I just keep going to Mexico. Okay. They removed all the mascots from their cereals.
Okay.
To make them like less engaging for kids, so kids don't see the commercials and be like, "Oh, I want that."
Sure. Yeah, that's a big part.
Sam or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was kind of cool. That's a good idea.
Yeah. I think...
I don't know if that solves the problem, but...
No, but it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
Because I think all of that stuff is made to be appealing to children.
Like the commercials, kids love them.
Yeah, they're fucking fantastic. It's
and
always...
parents don't want to disappoint
And it's always
the kid.
kids eating it in the commercials. It's never an adult eating like fucking corn puffs.
Right, they're just marketing shit to kids.
Yeah. So I think that's where I start... I hate to say it. That's where I start to go... We should have some regulation that protects children in that matter. That goes, hey, these companies are trying to poison kids, and they're not old enough to decide. They don't have the intellect to be like, oh, this is going to ruin my future.
Yeah.
Like let's help our children in that way. But
there was a movement to do that. There's a documentary called Weight of the Nation.
Okay.
It's just about obesity in America. It's pretty sad. It was made like 10 years ago. Side note, that in this documentary from 10 years ago, they show people and bring them on to talk that are like obese people. Yeah. And then like you look at them and you're like, compared to nowadays, like
they're like nothing.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, dude.
It gets way worse.
Dude, there's this picture that's... Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. You're still going.
I think are you talking about like the fattest guy in the world?
Yes, exactly.
People,
from like the
people
1920s.
Visited to see him.
Yes, and he's like...
It just looks like an American.
Like a casual fat guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Sorry, but what were you saying about the doc?
Shit, I don't remember where I was going. Oh, people started organizing to be like, these ads to kids are fucked up.
Yeah.
And they like started speaking in front of Congress and stuff. They formed some group, and fucking lobbyists just shut it down. Like, all the big money in the companies. Got
So, let me play devil's advocate on all of this.
Sure.
Schools, public schooling, where most of America's children are educated. There is... So every school has a cafeteria, right? Every school feeds their kid food.
That's good softball. Thanks.
Yeah.
I almost got that wrong.
Man. There's a point in time where, because of public schooling and it not being it's a government enterprise, it's extremely not profitable and not good at its job. It doesn't educate kids pretty well, and the metrics are obvious when you look at those things relative to private schools. When you actually pay for an education and people are invested in what the consumer is essentially paying for the product and invested in it. The food system for schools, there was at one point, I forgot what was going on, but the kitchens there couldn't afford good foods, and the government started going around and saying like, we can't give you enough money for your cafeterias. And at that time, big corporations like Kraft and any of the bigger food ones we know today, Nabisco, all that stuff, stepped in and said, oh, we'll pay for all your cafeteria food, and started filling it with things like cookies and pizza and all these things. And
great market opportunity.
Dude, you raise the youth on your food through school. But it's a failure of government. But because they control the education system, that in a private school situation, that doesn't happen. Because the school has prospered because the need is great enough. So people are paying for the school to survive, so it will have food for their cafeteria.
Sure.
It's because the school system, the public school system was failing, that they had to lean on an outside, not in the best interest of them,
swoop in and save
yeah
you.
and it's, people look at that though and they go, oh yeah, it's these corporations that swooped in and did this. And it's like, no, you made a system that's not profitable, so something that's doesn't have the interest of the kid in mind to subsidize the whole thing. They don't care about the kid's health. But if you take any private school, those cafeterias are more invested in children's health because the people, it's a business. It has to depend on the consumer.
Right. Okay, I missed where you said, how is the public school failing? Like, why did companies have to swoop in? And
there was something going on where there was not enough. I got to find it, but at some point, the government was like, we don't have enough money to give you via government for the cafeteria, and it was.
I see.
It was through some means of the school didn't have enough money.
A budget cut maybe or something.
They didn't have enough money overall, and unless they started leaning on corporation from XYZ, it would fail.
Okay.
And then a bunch of kids would not have schooling. But again, I think that's a symptom of the issue, not the true issue of you probably systems where no one wants to put their kid in, and it doesn't quite work out.
So is that like a pro-private school argument?
Yeah. Which there's examples of this going to, like, you ever heard of like Harlem Prep in New York? So a lot of people, when you talk about public education, they're like, well, if we don't have public education, kids won't have any schooling. And there's evidence, like Harlem Prep is an example in New York, in one of the worst parts in Harlem, which historically has been a very terrible part of New York, where a bunch of people essentially organized, they call them storefront schools, where the schools were failing and a bunch of the community got together, and people who were making not that much money educated kids in a way that you would look at and go, it's a top level education from like a private school, by just investing in this very, very small thing. Happened in the Bronx as well in like in the 60s. And that happens more when you get rid of the public school system, because on mass scale, if you say
people step up and teach,
they do. People that don't have the certifications either. People like literally go out of their way to educate children, which for most grades up until
that's beautiful,
dude. It's great. And you'll find endless accounts of that.
I was gonna say, you can bring a community together. Were you just gonna say like up until a certain grade? Like, you can find educators even if they don't have the qualifications.
And even you could make the argument through high school at a certain level. You can find people who are smart enough in those communities anywhere, frankly, and it's those situations that happen over and over again when the public school system has failed. And in the grand scheme of things, those don't happen a lot, because if you have kids, you're penalized by not going to public school via tax. Your tax money goes to funding education.
Okay.
And I think back in the 60s, it's like you're paying about $3,000 to $4,000 a year for education. And for families who are not in the 60s, low income, that's a good chunk of money. So if you suddenly don't have to pay that money, private schools now become way more affordable, and there's way more private schools in the system that people can actually afford to do those things. And so things like Harlem Preps exist way more frequently. Things like the Bronx School exist way more frequently. There's also different levels of it, and it's just nuts, man. There's, I don't know. Public education's a whole fucking mess.
Private school is typically more expensive, right?
Yeah, but because public school takes up like 96% of the market.
Okay.
They have a monopoly on
right, so if
all
public
of it.
school were less, private school would become more affordable.
Yeah, and again, even in this monopoly market situation, you have things like Harlem Prep and the Bronx School, which are not expensive and are things that people typically care about their kids. You can find an example of people not caring. Most people really invest in their children, and when they see an opportunity to help, they capitalize on it. That is proven true over all of humanity.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, and so when people see these, it's crazy for people to be like, we got to save public education. Then you look at any like inner city school where that's where most of the public education is, and see what's going on. It's how could you ever advocate for it? It's terrible. People graduate college that are illiterate, or not college, high school that are illiterate in inner cities. They graduate those kids. It's like,
I feel like most people graduate.
Yeah, mostly because it's a metric that the government goes, yo, we need these kids to do that, and they don't actually do anything.
Gotta have good grades.
Yeah, it's just a de-incentivized system. Like, there's no incentive to educate these kids. It's just, we're going to educate your kids. And it all started as a private interest anyway. All schools started from, like, the Rockefeller organization or foundation, where they just wanted to help kids get a better education, and eventually the government just took over.
So that's where schools started?
Yeah, it was all private. Same with, like, the roads in the beginning, all private. At some point, government just goes, we're going to take this, and then ruins it all. I guess,
isn't that, like, a good intent, though, just gone wrong? Like, for the government being like, hey, we should standardize this, make sure everyone can get education.
Sure, but what is that worth? That's like...
No, it's not worth anything. But I'm just trying to think of, like, how it developed over time. Because they probably thought it was a good idea, and probably not for, like, selfish reasons.
I think it's a mix. I think there's some people who truly believe it's good, and I think there's some people who know that this is a way to take control of a system. And
you think even back then?
Oh, yeah. Dude.
I guess, you're taking control of education.
I mean, I always think of, like, I've talked about before, but the example of when Standard Oil was, like, supposedly had a monopoly on all of oil in America, and I think that's John Rockefeller who owned that company, but he had, like, 60% of the market, and... there's enough people who are like, they're a monopoly, they control the oil, and it was typically because they were just doing such a good service. Most people were buying oil from them because they
fucking got their shit together.
Right, they were doing so much better and selling for so much cheaper than any other company. So we're like, oh yeah, we're going to buy from them, and then somehow they convinced Congress to. It was the first antitrust laws to break up a company, and they created this oil commission that essentially had ownership over all oil in America.
New monopoly.
Yeah. And a monopoly that can use force. They don't have to do good by anyone. They can just truly exist and be like, nope, can't do anything. So that happens with big industries that government calls monopolies all the time. And in those, at least in Standard Oil, definitely bad intentions. Because the people who are saying, we got to make these antitrust laws, know that there's a huge financial component to owning all of the oil in America.
Yeah.
And those situations too, if you ever drill into them and go, this is helping people. The company who was doing really well was helping people. That's typically the only way.
That's why they're doing so well.
Exactly. The only way for them to do well is to help people better than other companies.
But no, it's a greedy corporation.
Yeah, that's what it's the same shit.
It's the narrative.
Yeah. So we're gonna end on a good note.
It's a good one. That was all over the place. I liked it.
It was pretty nice. How about this? Something that made you happy this week. How about we end on that? Bring it back. Nothing.
I have no emotions, happy or sad.
I'm always fucking
I don't know. I'm cranking out improv classes. If you couldn't tell, listeners, I'm fucking quicker.
He's quick, man.
Just kidding. I don't think I showed that. But no, it's a good time. Just a bunch of adults being silly.
It's great, man.
For a couple hours a week.
Yeah, it's play.
Yeah.
You actually get to play. It's nice.
Unleash your inner child.
Yeah, dude.
We're going to make you join.
I know. One of these days. I will. But that's a good way to end.
What about you?
I don't know. Fucking stuff is good overall. Just I don't know. Yeah. Summer's here. It's nice. Fucking
summer rocks.
Chilling. It's good stuff, man.
Life is good.
It is.
We live by a lake in a beautiful place.
Truly, I feel like, and maybe we cut this because it feels so privileged to say, we are living in like the top 1% of the world.
Living the dream right now. We're not getting bombed.
I mean, yes, it's baseline, huge. Not getting bombed. But we Dude, there's places on the earth that are so poor that, like, not that this is so fucking, you know, look at us and but it's crazy to think about that, like, our norm is this, like, chilling on couches in a nice apartment near the water in a big city.
Yeah.
That's the norm for us. That's insane.
It's pretty sweet.
We could have been born to, like, the slums in India where you're rolling around in shit.
The more people I meet from India and they're just hearing the stories they tell about it,
it's crazy.
It makes me very grateful.
Yeah,
that I live here.
I think I told you my dad went there last year for some work thing he had to go. He's like, yeah, you don't want to. He's like, you'll see levels of poverty that shake you. Like you'll see children in situations that are like, if you live in a world that's like a first world country, you go. It seems impossible that can be happening. That it's that level of poverty of, like, people on the verge of death in piles of shit. Poverty.
Yeah, just on the street. Probably.
Yeah, and
people ignoring it.
Yes, and it's packed with those people. It's not just like a couple. It's like you're dated. Yeah. There's hundreds of children in those conditions, and they're begging you for money. It's really sad. It's so nuts, man.
Dude,
so
even going to Mexico City, it's not at that level, but like just seeing the streets are just lined with people just at their little shop that they might work at their whole life, selling trinkets, and it's like, damn, glad I live here.
Me too. On that note,
amen, brother.
Keep those borders up, and we're off.